Hi, everybody. This is Sam, and I come to sing you a song and tell you a little story. Um, it's an old song. It's a song that was written in 1912, became a popular hymn used all over the country, mainly made popular by the Billy Sunday Evangelistic Association as they travel across the country. And it had singers that would sing it, and the country took to the song. It was later put in a lot of hymn books of different denominations, and it became a very popular song. And sometimes it's called "And He Walks with Me and He Talks with Me," but the name of the song is "In the Garden." "In the Garden" didn't really become real popular till 1950 when Dale Evans and Roy Rogers recorded it, and then it started being recorded by a lot of people. I think Johnny Cash is one of his last albums. He had it on there, and it's probably thousands of people have recorded this song. It's a very popular song. In fact, in churches every week across this country, this song is sung. Not at every church, of course, but in a lot of churches. I sing it quite often. It's one of my favorite. It was my grandmother's favorites, and so it became one of my very favorites. And so it's "In the Garden." Although the song is not the primary reason that I want to tell the story. I want to tell a story not about the song, but about someone that I'd met in an assisted living home that I go to visit. Her name was Marie, and Marie was 100 years old. She walked around with a cane and got around really well. You wouldn't have known she was 100 years old. And she would attend my programs and sit back and listen, never sing, just sit back and listen. Well, one afternoon after I'd finished my program, I was starting to pack up my guitar and everybody was leaving. And Marie came up behind me and tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Excuse me, Sam." And I turned around and said, "Can I help you?" And she said, "My name is Marie, and I'm 100 years old." And I said, "Oh, Marie, the activity director pointed you out to me a while back, and what a marvel you are. And everybody's so proud of how well you're doing." And she said, "Well, I appreciate that." She said, "I come to ask you a favor." And I said, "If I can do it, I'll do it. What do you need?" And she said, "Well, I was in the choir in my church for 89 years, and I never missed a rehearsal or a Sunday. And but when I turned 96, we had a new choir director, and he said my voice was too scratchy and didn't blend. And so he asked me to leave the choir." I know this sounds terrible, but my thought went through my head, that guy should have been tracked down and horsewhipped. They should have put a throne in the middle of a choir. 89 years, never missed a rehearsal or a Sunday. And that's phenomenal. Probably Guinness World Record could put that in there. But the thing that got me the most is when she said, "I haven't sung since then, and it's been 4 years since I've worshiped aloud. I still go to church, but I don't sing. I'm embarrassed by my voice. But I didn't think you would laugh at it, and I really need to worship. Would you sing in the garden with me?" And I said, "Well, I'd be honored." And so I took my guitar back out, and we sang the song together. It was a tearful worship time. We both teared up. She really worshiped. Her voice was a little scratchy, but her worship was deep and sincere. And I was deeply touched by that moment that we had together. And so the song is "In the Garden." I come to the garden alone, while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses, and He walks with me and He talks with me, and He tells me I am His own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. Oh, he speaks, and the sound of his voice is so sweet. The birds hush their singing, and the melody that he gave to me within my heart is ringing. And he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. Oh, I'd stay in the garden with him, though the night around me be falling, but he bids me go through the voice of woe. His voice to me is calling, and he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. I remember one of the first times that I started singing that song in the nursing homes. It hit me. I'd never thought about it so much, but the joy we share as I tarry there, none others ever known. And I thought, Lord, a lot of people have shared the joy of talking with you in the garden. A lot of people have been close to you and spent time with you. Why it says none others ever known? And then the Lord referred me back to my children and said, your relationship with each of your children, are they all alike? And they're not. One of my kids, I'd have to hit him with a 2x4 to get his attention. I mean, not literally, but he was very stubborn, and so very hard. One of my daughters, I'd just look at her, and if I just looked stern, she'd almost cry and say, Daddy, I'm sorry. And she's the softest little heart. All of them are different. I've got 4 kids, and all my kids respond differently. And God said, that's how I am with my children. They all respond differently. I've always wondered how Joshua could follow in Moses' footsteps. And there's that word tarry that you'll find in Exodus 33. I think it's around verse 11. It said that Moses would go to the tent of meetings and he would talk face to face with God as one man to another man. And then after he had finished talking with him, he said he'd leave the presence of the Lord. But Joshua, the son of Nun, would tarry in the presence of the Lord. So Joshua spent time, same way as Moses did. It doesn't say they talked face to face, but at the same time he's there. He was his right-hand man. And so Joshua was there. And that's how he got the mantle and carried the mantle, had an intimate relationship with God. Another part of this song that's just very interesting to me. It's done at a lot of funerals. It may be sung at my funeral soon, I don't know, but it's sung at a lot of funerals, and yet it's not really a funeral song. We get to the last verse, and it says, I'd stay in the garden with him, though the night around me be falling, but he bids me go. Not he bids me come. And for a funeral, you'd think, and he bids me come, like you're dying, and so it's time to come home. But it says he bids me go. It's saying you've tarried in the garden, we spent time together, I've spoken into your life, you've been refreshed, now it's time to go. And I just believe that it's kind of a call to march. It's a call to go out and share the truth of God's word with people that we know, and the truth of what we know about God, what he's done and how he's changed our lives. Now, I don't know if he's changed your life, but he's sure changed my life. In fact, I've never met anyone in my lifetime that said they were sorry they met Jesus. It's just the opposite. I've met a lot of people that said, I'm not walking as close to the Lord as I should. I haven't been to church in a while and things like that. But I've never met anybody that says, I'm sorry I met Jesus. Truly met him and got to know him. And he's changed a lot of lives. And so this song means a lot to me. He walks with me and he talks with me. And he tells me I am his own. When I was growing up, I went to a lot of different schools. We moved a lot. My dad was a construction worker, and so we'd move a lot. So I spent about half my time on the farm in Texas as a cattle ranch, and the other half I'd spend moving. And so I went to a number of schools. I think the number is over 20 schools by the time I'd finished going to school. And I was always the new kid on the block. I was the last one chosen because they didn't know if I could play football or basketball or baseball. They didn't know. They'd never seen me before. And so I was always like the last one chosen or the odd man out. And I remember after I'd given my heart to the Lord, I remember singing this song. And I really teared up when I got to the part, tells me that I am his own. I remember calling my grandmother that day and telling her about what I experienced with. He tells me I am his own. And it was a great experience. It was she and I both reveled over the phone together that I'm finally chosen. I hope you're a chosen one. It's between you and God, and I can't say it. I don't know how to do that ruler and see which one is which, but I do believe that fixing your eyes on God is important. If you like this video or any of the other videos that we do on A Closer Walk with Sam, please share it with your friends and encourage them. That's what our whole aim here is, to try to encourage people to walk with the Lord and talk with the Lord. Spend time with God and keep your eyes fixed on him. Trust him, for he is good. Hope you have a great day. God bless you.